but it does add into effect of BTR's amount of control they have in going into this game 1, right?
Yes, it actually covers a couple of situations as well. So if, let's say, Prince of London, he actually gets the kill, a solo kill, and if Nongshim players are around, they will definitely want to gather into that spot to try and punish ZanQ, right? But the way that the draft works, on the side of BTR, they are happy to take team fights all the way. They have so much AoE control and damage as well.
Oh yeah, plenty. But all this surmised into the BP is all going to be put onto the Gorge in a few moments. But looking at both of these drafts here with these teams, what we know so far from Nongshim, what we currently don't know about Bigetron, who are we giving the favor over to? What's looking like it's going to be a desired outcome for either of these teams?
I think it really depends on how the mid laners do in the early parts of the game, right? Wave clear is definitely very important and a strength of both of these members. But I think it's a little bit more difficult for Neil, especially if Illusion can kind of pull the minions away, right? Floating side requires the targets to be close to each other. And when that gap is widened, suddenly you will find that, hey, wave clear isn't as easy because the floating side can't bounce between the targets.
Yeah, no, the whole thing of the flowing sides, they have to be together, right? So they may not want to clump together, but it is going to be the Nua and the idea into the mid lane for now. Looking like Lung's actually changed the lane. Don't want to go against the DRNG just yet. A little bit of a pause here for these players, but looking at where these teams are actually going through into the lane, so far it looks like that Lung doesn't necessarily want to go for that 1-to-1 against the DRNG early on in this game.
I think it's a good idea, right? End of the day, there's a benefit for doing so. Number one, he eats the wave of Neil, which allows his growth in EXP and gold as well, right? And if they time it right, he should be able to return the lane to get the remainder of the farm in his own respective lane as well. So that's 2 waves for him right at the start of the game. And hopefully that early itemization, that first item onto his hands will allow him to kind of edge out that 1v1s. And oh my goodness, this Dolia.
There we go, yeah. Say, hey, we've got a bit of a pause. Let's distract them. Bring out the cute thing.
Yeah, but you know what? This is an interesting start. But the other side of the story is also how well does the jungle farm, right? Ogren, we all know he's a level 1 beast. His ability to go in with the path of passing, traverse over obstacles is one of the most valuable skill sets. But of course, level 1, you normally go for the Death's Precipice, right? You get the lifesteal, you get some damage as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what they're going to be looking for here. I mean, I think that's why they've paused the match, right? That everyone's just distracted by this Dolia. But looking at those drafts, like you were saying about the Ogren as well, he's going to be able to create such a great momentum for himself. Haku is going to have a whale of a time on this pick because of the path of passing. You are able to kind of just set that pace for yourself. You're not kind of like restricted to any laning or anything like that.
Yeah, my biggest concern, while I like BTR's draft, is the fact that Prince of Landing isn't very tanky, right? In a straight-up 1v1, unless he has a huge goal lead and itemization lead, he's not going to be able to take the fight against BTR's Haku, not BTR, Nongshim's Haku, right? So this game really rides on how much pressure BTR or Bigetron can put onto Nongshim during the early stages of the game. Because if you allow Haku to get the lead in terms of farm and EXP, I don't think ZanQ is going to have a good time at all.
Oh no, I mean, in terms of like wave clearance and farm clearance, stuff like that, Ogren definitely takes it over the Prince of Landling, because not just because of the path of passing, but just obviously his other abilities as well, just able to kind of just like chain damage onto all the camps, which is something that Prince of Landling can't do. But the same has to go for BTR as well. Like if you don't give the early game, if you give the early game over to the Lung, you can be in trouble.
Okay, so they're gonna try and give it a start here, but I don't think it's gonna work out. There's not enough burst potential just yet from ZanQ. Pretty healthy damage, but this damage is not enough. I mean, we're only 1.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, maybe it's more of a mental thing, right? They're just kind of like, hey, well, look, we will actually...
Oh, hang on! They commit a flash! Zan actually gets to kill the first blood, and of all the people, they give it to the farm lane. Looks like they will have to commit another flash. It's a big loss on the side of Nongshim. BTR, they take the lead.
Yes, I mean, I was about to say, maybe it's just a mental thing of them bringing the pressure, saying, hey, we're going to set the momentum of this game, and we're not going to let that slip. And maybe that's what the fear of Nongshim need is just like, hey, maybe we need to actually toughen up. This is not the same kind of matchup we had yesterday, but here's the replay of that first blood. Those flaming palms hitting beautifully, and what a nice flash.
Yeah, I mean, it was a half a second delay, right? If he had gotten the flash before that situation, hang on, 2v1, is this really the best choice? Kyung9 actually managing to best the two of them in a 2v1, and here comes Haku. I don't think he's gonna get anything at this point, but yeah, it looks like BTR, they have a little bit more composure compared to what Nongshim have performed since yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you were right to pick out Kyung9 into the clash lane. He was playing very well there just to bait off that 2v1, but a lot of pressure going down here into the farm lane on the side of BTR. They are able to use that cannon blast to perfection, as well as those flaming palms. Even just at level 4, they are doing some mighty damage.
Yep, and Zankyu is also farming quite well as well. He's already level 6, right? Keeping pace with Haku, which is not an easy thing to do, especially when you're going up against an Ogren, right? His pacing is definitely a lot faster.
He's pacing a lot faster, but I feel like that's all aided by Neil, the mid laner, right? Like, you can kind of see that they are rotating heavily together just so they can kind of match the pace of Ogren, and that just really pays dividends to Ogren's wave clear. He's just like, hey, we need 2 heroes to match this one guy, but hey, if it's working for BTR, keep it up.
Yep, Illusion actually saves that camp from being stolen away by Zan, and that's a big win for now, right? But it does dwindle Haku's farm a little bit, so Haku might trail in terms of EXP against Zankyu.
Yeah, just for now. We're looking at, what, the matter of a few hundred gold difference here, but I feel like the pressure in the lanes is probably something that's going to pay more dividends. But
oh, hang on, that was a quick kill. Tufts gets the kill against Kyung9, and this is not the performance that Nongshim wanted. And BTR, this is showing signs of why they were champions in the first place of their respective region.
Yeah, I mean, going for the vision score there, Kyung, but was it really what you really want in this game, especially when behind 2 kills and now behind just under 1k gold difference as well? Prince of Landling uses the teleportation mechanic as well to go down into the mid lane. There is a lot of pressure from BTR. They're looking not to turn that down any moment now.
Yeah, Zankyu's damage is starting to pile up at this point. Can they get the steal? They will not. Zankyu gets caught out though, and this is going to be the first kill coming in for the side of Nongshim. Right now, they have to give more. The flash committed by Neil as well, but that's all they can take. Hang on, Illusion jumps in. Can they get the finishing kill? It's another one, a double kill, and right now, ignore whatever happened in the early parts of the game. Nongshim recover immediately.
Yeah, on this new illusion is definitely creating the illusion of safety for BTR, getting a very satisfying double kill into the farm lane, as well as they take the T1 down into the farm lane. So maybe this is the bounce back. This is Nongshim saying, hey, we've listened, we've been in for 4 minutes, we've learned, we are now going to just apply the pressure.
Yep, and this then shows some of the weaknesses on the side of BTR's draft, right? So they're not very tanky as well. And the moment you get controlled by the likes of Nongshim players, it essentially spells imminent death as well.
Yeah, like you said, they're not really that tanky. So as soon as they start doing the damage, I mean, Nua, as we know, after her rework, does fantastic amounts of damage. And not only that, she can kind of have the save utility as she does, where you can kind of just shift people around to wherever you want to, especially with using those boxes, a little bit of geometry for those players on the Gorge. But definitely does a lot of damage, and that's exactly what they want going against BTR's draft right now.
Yeah, and the catch potential, right? It has to come from Psycho or maybe even Zankyu as well. Without that, the amount of initiation actually quite lacking on the side of BTR.
Yeah. If you start to take out Zankyu and Psycho, then the setup is literally going down the toilet, the proverbial toilet. And right now, there's a lot going on.
Yep, Seaweed gonna be taken down. At the same time, it's a 2-for-1 trade. Looking good for the side of BTR. Here comes Zankyu. He does give them that emotional fear, and it looks like the stun will not hit the mark. Illusion trying to go for the 2v1 along. Ooh. Psycho gets taken down as well. Haku, Seer State activated and kills galore. Right now, 5-4, Nongshim take the lead.
Yeah, a nice little kill lead there for
Nongshim they're not done yet.
And
yep, Kyung9 actually goes for it. Zankyu will manage to make it out with a sliver of health, but there's a lot of damage being done. Azure Golem now in the hands of Nongshim's Haku.
Yes, the Azure goal being stolen over there is probably a good thing for the side of Nongshim, especially just to try and put the pressure on going into the 7-minute mark now for both of these teams. And Nongshim have done it. They've swung the pendulum of the gold resources over to themselves as well. They are now sitting at a 20k gold compared to the 19k gold on the side of BTR, which is not anything that can kind of like write home about. There is still potential room for error on the side of Nongshim.
I like the way that, Haku is itemizing at this point. He actually just totally ignores the Blazing Cape, goes straight for the Blood Rage instead, right? Because he knows that they won't be fighting face-to-face that much. Haku here going on a 1v2. This is a sight to see as they will try to push them back. Not much action gonna be happening from this point because the waves now just starting to come out from the lanes.
Yeah, it looks like they might be trying to surface around this Overlord as well. It's definitely something, a priority for Nongshim. They've already gotten... They actually haven't had a single neutral objective just yet. So going for this, they don't have the Primal Bond as well, the debuff into the jungle. So they probably could take it pretty easily now. But looking just to give some pressure into the mid lane before they decide to take it. But it looks like both of the teams are formulating around this neutral objective.
Yeah, but it's not a good situation for this other BTR. Actually, at this point, Nongshim, they've definitely hit a power spike. They're a little bit more tanky. And Zankyu, you start to see him falter. Hang on, he's going to try and go in 2v4. And the whole team is here, actually. BTR, they make the first move. They get the reward. But the rest of the map is actually pretty much open. So BTR, what's the choice now?
Yeah, I mean, they got the kill, but look at their T2 down into the farm lane for the side of BTR. It's been absolutely decimated by Nongshim, thanks to Kyung and Haku going down there. It looks like that Azan is looking to play the trade up into the farm lane, the clash lane, sorry, onto the side of Nongshim.
This is a big lesson. I mean, Nongshim, this is not the kind of macro play we expected from them based on the performance of yesterday. They have learned really quickly.
Learn really quickly, but they've also maybe seen a little bit of a falter there. They've managed to still trade the T2s though, so I don't feel like that's a positive trade for Nongshim. I feel like that BTR's still been able to punish them.
Oh, Zankyu saved by his teammate there. That would have spelled instant death actually if Kyung9 actually got his hands onto Zankyu. And looks like they will change the target. Oh, the lockdown. It is going to be a lot of stuns happening, but Infinite Vastness and turns it around. Here comes the backup from the side of BTR. Indonesians, they love to fight, and fight they will. As Nongshim, they're starting to come apart. Haku, 1v4. He gets the kill, consolation prize, but that's going to be inevitable. His death comes as Tough takes him out. BTR, they restore the lead.
Yeah, solid 3-1 trade from BTR there. Exactly what you said there, kid. Indonesians love to fight, and they have the Vanguards as well into the mid lane, so they could potentially take that T1 into the mid lane, start to put a lot more pressure onto the side of Nongshim, because as soon as you start to lose those T1s, I mean, yes, they've lost almost both sides of the Gorge as well in their favor, because the T2 is the only thing standing on the side of Nongshim. But if that T1 opens up, it means that Zankyu has a whole field day in their side of the jungle.
Yeah, and this is what we want to see, right? And I think this is one of the reasons why BTR has been the champion of their region. They always make the trades. They don't just get the kills, they get something else after that. And that's a prerequisite to be able to have the advantage in games.
I mean, you can't just take a cookie and eat it, right? I mean, they're doing exactly that, so they're putting that rule to bed, but once more, we're seeing multiple factors coming from BTR as well. We see that Zankyu's pushing down into the farm lane as well as Tubbs pushing into the clash lane. So they're trying to just basically say to Nongshim, hey, you can try and go for the neutral objective, but we're here too.
Oh, Haku, I think he's just going to make it out safely at this point. But look at the map control. BTR are doing so well. What started as a Nongshim aggression into the Tyrant Pit now is reversed. BTR, this could be very well theirs as well, but it's a crucial kill path, and it's Illusion making the difference, killing Zen in the process as well. Did I? My goodness, 3,000 in terms of distance. And here we go. This could be the marker. The lockdown comes in as well. They're looking to go on cycle. For now, he makes it out safely, but the wave is crashing in. This mid T1 looking a little bit dire on the side of BTR will be given away.
This is definitely the second wing that Nongshim needed. I mean, they had a bit of that in the early game, but that snipe, having that target locked down in your hindsights was just huge for the same as Nongshim. And it's just showing that the potential here for Nua is not just stealing neutral objectives, it's getting those kills from a very safe distance.
Yeah, that's why this draft is so scary, right? So they have the long-range annihilation coming out from Illusion, and they also have the close-range catch with Faye on that Bitter Farewell as well. Now ZanQ, he's in a little bit of a pinch here. It's 4 different members on the side of the top jungle, and if he gets spotted out, I think it's probably death on its doorstep.
Yeah, no, he looks like he's in very safe hands there. He's able to just manage to go undetected into the clash lane, so fair play to ZanQ, able to get out of that predicament, which most players probably wouldn't have. They probably would have head straight for it, but never mind, there is a 2v1 going on.
Yep, ZanQ, he survives though. The Battlefield Command does save his life, but he's so low on the backlines. It is going to be a kill. Farm lane takes the kill. Zan takes the kill onto Siri, and there's 2 members down. Can they get the recovery though? Everyone is trying to make their way out. Can they run away? Zan uses the Rider Wind to push Haku away, and he's pincered in between 3 different members on the side of BTR, and the fight has begun. Blood Rage to be used, but it's not enough. Ultimate committed as well. Neo doesn't even care, but at the same time, the base threatens. Hang on, where's everyone? Chong9 is going to give it a try. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. Neo just on the tip of it gets caught out, and here we go. Destructive Deluge is going to be used, but whatever, with the invincibility frames going to help him and aid him in the escape. BTR, they need to keep an eye on the base as well.
I mean, we talk about blind spots frequently on cast, but that is one of the greatest blind spots I've ever seen happen since the KC 2024 with Freddy just running down into the farm lane and taking the crystal. That was almost word for word like a love letter to Freddy there.
Oh yeah, I mean, coming from the Indonesia region, it would be quite funny if BTR loses the first game like that.
It would have been huge. I mean, if that was any other hero, obviously, Mayin can do damage, but not that much damage. Say, for example, if that was the RNG with the attack speed and the damage, I feel like that would have actually just completely wiped it out.
Yep, and oh, hang on, the flash committed as well. They get the lockdown on the cycle. There is no more stuns available. They're committing. Chong9 gets the kill on Neo. There's not enough damage on the backlines, though. It looks like Zan, he does survive. ZanQ just going to show up and make life a little bit more scary at this point. If they can catch him with the Radiance, it's going to spell the end of him. But right now, it looks like Nongshim, they want to take the safe route. They will go for the Shadow Overlord.
Yeah, I feel like they're taking out one of the good core components, though, of the next team fight is that Neil is now down for another 19 seconds, so they're able to take any of these team fights and probably have a less of a threat going on, but there we go. They drop the Shadow Vanguard down into the farm lane to stop that push for ZanQ, trying to just pay the same respect to Kyung9 on the side of Nongshim, but hey, that's really shaken up BTR, and you could really tell on that last little team fight.
Yeah, this is a result I wasn't expecting at this point. Nongshim actually having a sizable lead against BTR. It's not a huge one, 2,000, but it's enough, significant. ZanQ on the back lines, he's looking for the target, goes in, gets the shutdown, is actually given a psycho as well. He's gonna give his life. ZanQ will not survive at this point. Hang on, he actually makes it out. And in the meantime, Psycho actually stuns them up. Here comes the turnaround. Everything available for Zan as he goes on a rampage, and Nongshim picked apart Siri, running for his life along with Haku. Might not be enough. A double kill. Zan, BTR. This is why they were champions. This is why you won't make it out. Haku in no man's land. As Taos, he's going to charge up. 3-on-1. He gets a consolation prize. But Bigetron, welcome to the world stage. Welcome to the big stage. They ace their opponents.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to get any high ground turrets here just yet. Obviously, they don't have the Vanguards. I think that's probably one good thing that Nongshim had setting up into that team fight is it's kind of like a bit of a fall save for the side of Nongshim. Is just having that Overlord. But it looks like that ZanQ is going to go for the Tyrant to give a bit of extra damage over to Lung. But my god, Zane don't need that extra damage. He's doing so much damage on those Flaming Palms, not just onto the heroes, but look at that turret. It's literally been deleted.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what I like about BTR's gameplay? They're really safe, right? So after this engagement, he didn't stay. I mean, I personally would have been greedy. I wanted to get that T3, right? But they don't mind playing the late game because at this point, ZanQ, yes, he falls off a little bit, but they're playing against members like Syria and Tirantia. You're playing against members like Illusion. They're not very survivable against the burst potential of a Prince of Lanling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's been many matches so far within the Season 3 Invitational where we can say that the goal lead is very close at 16 minutes. It's normally either the opposite side of the spectrums, right, where teams are being starved by about 5 to 6k gold. But Nongshim are definitely keeping the horse in the race here. I think as long as they don't allow BTR to take any of the higher ground turrets, they've still got the advantage in this one.
Yeah, at this point, it's about timing, right? How long can it survive? Because Zen already has his full 6 slotted items. Right now for Siri, just a little bit shy. Maybe needs probably about 1,000 gold more.
Yeah, I mean, he's just basically a consolation prize at this point. Like you said, he's 6 slotted. He can do as much damage as he wants. He can even change out some of these items as he gets into the late parts of the game. I mean, we're already at the 17-minute mark. If they can't quite find their little push over the line, maybe it is a change of items that they need, but a lot's brewing up onto the farm lane.
Thank you. Looking for an opening in angle here. I don't think they will be able to find anything just yet. The stunts come in, but it's okay.
It's okay, yep. The wave play coming from the newer is definitely paying well to the side of Nongshim as well. But it's definitely looking like more respect's being given over to both of these teams, right? There's a lot riding on the line on this game one, because most of the times when we've seen these teams take the game one victory, it's been the victor of the whole series. So they need to sort of make their mark early within this series.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't tell me, I thought this would have been the final game of the series, right? They're playing so back and forth, and right now, Bigetron, they will extend the advantage. They take the Shadow Overlord for themselves.
Yeah, so this is going to help them definitely with trying to push the aggression onto the higher ground turrets. I feel like they just need to group up and choose a lane. And right now, the weakest lane on the side of Nongshim is definitely, in terms of health of the turret, is that clash lane. So it looks like Zan here is looking to push that one. I think as long as he gets one minion into that distance, he could just lay the flaming palms. It's gone.
Yeah, so this is really the test of quality, right? Well, we know that pressure builds diamonds. Now, this is a super pressurizing situation. Who's going to come up on top? That's a big question. ZanQ actually healthy damage on to Kyung9 as well. This is not the best way to start the fight on the side of Nongshim.
Yeah, no, they made him look into the clash lane, but it looks like they're going to focus down into the farm lane, especially with the Shadow Vanguard being there as well. We see the Haku is trying to put a bit of pressure into the early parts of this team fight that looks like it is going to pop off any moment for the side of BTR.
Yeah, they're choosing going nice stuns coming out from Psycho as well. Catches 3. Haku jumps in, hang on. ZanQ as well will go for the kill. Pops actually the first one. And this might be the difference maker here as BTR, they are running rampant in the base of Nongshim. It's going to be a trade. Right now it's 1 for 1, but there's more to come. The minions are marching down. The dragons are here. Vanguard as well. Psycho manages to push the backline away. But it looks like this will be the end of the aggression for the side of BTR. Maybe they want to sneak that T3 on the top. Will not happen. Psycho, he might be the sacrificial lamb here. Given away. He's going to try and run away. At this point, Haku, Seer State, gets the kill. But Zan, he needs to survive. If he dies here, this could be a very horrible situation. And oh my god, the annihilation. Gets the kill. Second life gone. Destiny used doesn't matter. Nongshim, they buy a lifeline.
I think really well played in all this, though. I mean, yes, the aggression there from Nongshim was fantastic, but the fact that Kyung9 stayed behind, he was like, if I don't stay behind, they could do exactly the same thing as what I tried to do to them, is just try and like backdoor me. And I think that was a really great play, show of ability from this player. But the Tempest Dragon is up, and 2 of the members of BTR are down. Are they going to try and go for the steal? Do they want that $500 in their back pocket? Only time will tell.
They have to play this really safely. So they need to make sure that they clear the area around, because ZanQ, he can come in with a huge amount of burst. At the same time, it could go very awry.
It could. They just need to focus. I feel like that's the idea, is hold the objective here. Yep.
Yep, they actually get 2 different members here. ZanQ pushed away. This could be the perfect situation for Nongshim to win the game here. ZanQ gets taken down by Siri. At the same time, nobody else is looking at the Tempest Dragon. They get another catch. Tusk, he's in no man's land. Okay, they get the burst, but it looks like Tempest Dragon will be given to the side of Nongshim. This is a big advantage. Can they push it forward?
Huge advantage, and as well, Nongshim playing very well within that Tempest Dragon pit as well, because they were playing against a 4v5, because Kyung9 once more just giving that TLC to those lanes, making sure that there's going to be no push here. But Lupang is trying to catch him out in his own game, but I feel like with this Tempest Dragon up, and ZQ down, it's only moments for the side of Nongshim to push this crystal.
Oh, that's a lot of damage coming in. And here we go. Annihilation used. Nobody dies just yet, but they do lose that T3 on the top.
We do lose the T3 at the top here, so high ground turrets falling on both of those lanes. So opening up is the base of the side of BTR, but are they going to be able to do what Elevate did yesterday? It is hold off Nongshim for long enough to actually get the strike back.
Okay, Moon Goddess onto Tufts. If he uses the Moon Goddess, he will get an additional health when he comes back. So let's see, is this the difference maker? Tempest Dragons is a hard battle here. The base is barren for the side of BTR.
Yeah, they're just trying to find a way in, but to be honest, to be fair, BTR are just denying them any access at all. They are just trying to stop those minion waves coming through. ZQ looking for a bit of a push up into the Clash lane as well, just trying to get that sizable minion wave. And they've got to be careful because it is enhanced minions at this point.
Yeah, Faye manages to get the catch, but this is a horrible position. BTR, they can turn this around, but a bit of farewell. That's a nice catch. Tufts, he's on the back lines. Nobody else to save. The members on the side of Bigetron and Nongshim are making it work. Can they get the kill? Hang on, Zen comes back to life. Second life in hand. Won't push them away, but it's a 4v1. There is no way. The Dragon's coming in. Hang on. Can they actually push it away? Oh no, it's a base race. Can they do it? No, there's no minions. And it is going to be Nongshim. They secure the first game against Bigetron!
Wow, that was literally a game of a base race. What the? You can even see on stage that there was clear miscommunication going on there between the team of BTR, but that game has got